This is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster. Welcome to New Year's Eve of 2022. And yeah, clean shaving. Yeah, we did the Star Crackers infomercial. This is, I guess, the season finale of season 14 of the Kal Kat Show. It started in 2009, in October, with these guys. Two of these guys. Kitty, come here. The 14. Hi, Cadabra. Cat. Kitty. Kitty. She'll play. Yeah. Gothic cat jokes and whatnot. Yeah. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay sitting on this couch. Shit sucks. I'm gonna grab this little cat cushion here. Hi, kitty. Yes. New Year's Eve. Yeah. Cat's meowing a lot. Oh, there she is. Hi, kitty. Kitty. Cadabra. Gothic kitty cat. Gothic kitty cat. Come here. Come here. Meow. Cameo. Yeah, so, oh boy. Yeah. Earlier. Yeah. During review stuff. Earlier in the year we did a lot more movies. We also did fan films over on the Weird Kitty 07 channel. Did a lot of fan films. Did a lot of stuff. Yeah, so we went to 2 fan films. We were doing, I guess, the last season of All Transformers Much, season 3 this year, and season 3 we broke into the Lexicon stories, Lexicons, which is the spiritual successor to All Transformers Much. It was done in the mid 2000s, 2010s roughly, 2000s to 2010s. They had just one of the archive channels that was left over. So of course we called it Transformers Lexicons, because it was Lexicon archive. 2 or 3 of the authors were people from last time, came back. That was cool. Also, infamously, we rejected a number of stories from the other ones that we decided not to do. And I ended up actually using a few of them as script fodder for the Robotech Meets the Transformers, the sequel to Transformers Meets Robotech, for the Sentinels, our version of the Sentinels. Basically, we can't do the McKinney books, so we used a lot of T.L. Ahrens but a couple other people, Sheba and Roy and someone else, Raksha, the person who did the Rakshi books. So I think there's a Jazzy story in there too. Jazzy being the other, Jazzy, not any other Jazzy. Sort of like when they say the Penny story, but not the Penny from the church, some other person, something like that. Or the Miriam story. It's not the Miriam, but the not the Kitty, but the other one. Although the Brown Productions video channel was a Kitty channel, and now they're airing Brown Productions videos live on it. So, and we're putting together some slideshows for that. From stuff you've never seen, pictures you've never seen. They're not shocking in any way, but they are pictures you've never seen. And there is photographic evidence of the cutscenes from Milpeter's Monster in there. The kids, the cast, and the story. Who knew that somehow that movie had a connection to what was then called the Kitty Show, Kitty, Kitty Show. And who knows, it had connections to that. There's also a young Kal Kat, Adam Brown, playing with toy cars on a beach. The inspiration for Cars, the Pixar movie series. But of course, But in that case, I said, no, the car shouldn't be alive unless they're transformers. But no, they didn't listen. They shouldn't be alive. That's stupid. No, they would have drivers, or they're kids from Knight Rider. Either one, either or. They're either an AI or they're a transformer, robot. And Peter Cullen played Cars. I'm Car, the night industry's roving robots. For some reason, that makes sense. Yes. So, yeah, it's very subdued New Year's sketch thingy. Yeah, here on the set. So here I am on the couch. Oh, cool, a glitter ball. That's cool, kitty. Look at that. That's neat. It's rolling on the floor. Get it over here. I chase shiny objects. How did she get it to glitter? I was like, glitter ball. There it goes. Happy New Year! Yay! Gonna give kids seizures. It's magical. It's a time travel device. So yes, it's executive producer of the Brown Productions and Kal Kat show and all that. Mom had broken her hip in July, so yeah, so they changed all the thing around, all the studios around, all the other stuff. Yeah, so we'll see how that works in 2023. We don't want to do the Robotech thing, followed by the Chimera third season. I've only written so far one episode of the Chimera third seasons, the pilot. Yeah, we're going to Silly Trek Land. It's funny as we made more of a big deal, or I made more of a big deal about some of the planets than Mark's cards did, John Yeager. Mark's cards was just like, they thought, because we've done Silly and Earth and Flota, or at least I have done them mainly. These other planets in the story. He just nonchalantly said, it was a typo originally. This planet. Yeah, you went off of a tangent, but I don't really care either way, whatever you do with it. That's kind of like how Quentin Tarantino was going to do a Star Trek a couple of years ago, about a year after the Gamelt stuff. And he thought, we're totally going to do a Star Trek stuff. Yeah. And then his idea, they asked him about it later, and it was kind of lame. Or he's just like, and he didn't get it. Like, he was like, I thought that they were going back to the 20s and 30s to gangster times in the story. I didn't get that it was just a planet where they were imitating it. Yeah, he didn't get that. And so, Guardian of Forever is going to be used to have him go back to gangster land and then talk like modern gangsters, but in the 20s. It's like, why don't you just then do the planet where they act like gangsters? Have it be the 1990s, like Pulp Fiction. Oh, yeah. His janky tripod got a waste basket, a recycle bin, and a pizza box. On top of the pizza box is the heart monitors. And on the top of that is the books. This is the jankiest tripod ever. Oh my goodness. What's funny though this evening is my sister and my nephew were here. Two of the SAP Productions people were here, right here in the studio, trying to find the ball drop. They didn't show it again. The one that we have a little bit of footage for ABC, we'll throw on the beginning of that, but they didn't show it there either. It's one of those years where they just didn't have it ready, or it broke, or kind of funny. Maybe they'll show footage from something else. But yeah, ABC says Disney. Yeah. But yeah, normally it'd be CBS, but it's ABC. That's just the footage. We're not at either of those, obviously. It is interesting, though, that the channel There's over 1,000 videos out. So even though there aren't very many subscribers, it's an influencer channel, and there's like, we go to conventions and they recognize us. And Mark's Cards did not initially believe that story, thought it was a little exaggerated, but I'm not one to exaggerate. And when he went to Silicon Valley Comic Con, he was also a star there. But when we went to the Comic Con, there were people that knew us both, so for different reasons. I guess he's on other things other than YouTube. He's famous somewhere. So they knew him. They knew me from YouTube. So, YouTuber guy, yeah. And the maker thing where I made I painted a dragon instead of a starship. They realized who I was after a little bit. Wait a second, that's the Kal Kat show guy. Yeah, he doesn't do dragons. Cool. Yeah. These guys made these really cool styrofoam armor bracelets. And the stuff they made was very creative. I don't know how they did it. I didn't think to actually make it into an actual creature, assemble it. I just painted it. But they kept thinking I was critiquing them. I thought, no, I'm critiquing my own stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. Sea dragon. Ooh, a sea dragon. A sea monster kind of thing. Would it look like a ship? Martha thought it looked like a ship. So, yeah. Recently I just saw Amanda, one of the stars from the church group, who was mad that she'd gotten back from Texas on a plane before the snowstorm. Said that her brother was crazy and that her brother, her in-law, her brother's wife was what was that? What she said about her? She said she was something mean about not much of a woman or something odd like that. They were. Although earlier the Fox News was trying to be funny, their gut feel. I guess we'll go on the tangent. Their gut feel guy and their other two alleged comedians, the lady imitating Tara West Coast from Ridiculousness, and the other ones, they're not funny, and so they got Jimmy Fallon to show up. He's not all that funny on that thing either. They kept referencing things like that's a joke. Referencing something is not a joke. At one point, one of them brought up the infamous comedy sketch, The Aristocrats. Now, everybody on YouTube knows what The Aristocrats is. I'm not going to repeat it. I would get flagged off YouTube. It's very dirty. It's the dirtiest joke in the world. It's the dirtiest. Yeah, even though it is on YouTube, which is weird. It's the dirtiest joke on YouTube. By the late Gilbert Gottfried, did a version of it, they said the punchline, The Aristocrats, and then laughed about it. It's like, no, you have to do the whole sketch. Get to the end. It's about this family that increasingly gets grosser and grosser and grosser, and the joke at the end isn't that they're like slovenly hick people or something. It's that they're the aristocrats. That's the joke. They're actually, these are the sane people, allegedly the rich people, the smart ones. That's the joke. That they're so gross and disgusting and vile, but they're the aristocrats. Yeah. But they didn't explain that. They just said, I'll just reference something. I'll also reference like Yogi Bear and picnic baskets and stuff. Because you figure, some of the younger ones on the channel are in their 50s and they would get that joke. It's like, yeah. I never worked for those guys. If I ever had worked for Fox, I would have been like I would have been the centrist guy. They would have thought I was liberal. I would have been like Combs on Hannity and Combs. I would have been like, oh, you know what? These guys are kind of nuts. But yeah, no, I never worked for them. I actually have a bachelor's in journalism, bachelor of science in journalism, 2008. So, as in terms of rank, I outrank in terms of journalism integrity. Half of the hosts on the show, including Tucker Carlson, who only has an associate's degree in history. I outrank that guy in journalism. I've passed the journalism classes. I have a degree in journalism. He doesn't. He's just rich, and they gave him a job. He doesn't have any journalistic integrity. Hannity, I'm not sure. I think he did a little bit. He's got an associate's degree. Judge Janine, she was a judge. Martha McCallum, I think she was some sort of finance lady. Let's see, who else? Bill O'Reilly, he was a reporter. He had a background. I think he was a history guy too. Wasn't a journalist. History guy. Dan probably outranks him. Anyway, but yeah, Jon Stewart, the comedian, outranks that guy. Anyway, glowy ball. Glowy ball. Glowy ball. This is cool. Easily entertained. Glowing sphere of doom. So, yeah. Well, what happened with my particular career is my internship was at a tabloid. That was it. That's because years ago in the 1990s, Professor Louie's class, Lynn Louie, she said, don't ever work for a tabloid because you'll be stuck working for tabloids. Yep. So, I am a tabloid. I do entertainment stuff on YouTube just for fun. That's what I like to do it, just for fun. Entertainment on YouTube. I do like this set though, it's kind of neat. Actually, I am facing where the view screen would have been for the Starcrackers movie. I'm on the set of the original Starcrackers right now. This is the former Starcrackers set. That's what it looks like now. I'm actually like on the set. There's where Clark came in, the entrance thing there. There's where Asloth sat. And right here's where Sarah Giannoli sat. There's Kadabra. And Henderson was over there. Sometimes Sarah Giannoli was there because Weapons was, yeah, that's odd. Schmidt also sat over here. And I am currently roughly where the captain's chair would be over there. And, so yeah. So I'm on the set of Starcrackers. Not really. But yeah, the carpet is in the garage. Skanky carpet. But yeah, this is the room. This is the Starcrackers room. And there's the tripod from hell. Oh no. Don't want to make too much noise though. Yeah, this is probably almost over. Anyway, let's see. Here we have other thing. I'm going to turn the camera over to the dude from Lower Decks. He's going to come in and sit on this chair, the captain's chair. Yeah. Sure he is. Clip that part out. Come in with this goofy hat on. All right, so yeah. I'm not gonna sit here long like this. So, I'm in the I'm sort of where the captain's chair would be. That's kind of over there. But yeah, I'm obviously not Captain Carey from Star Trek. Technically, I could be. Anyway. So, yeah. Just, I really got nothing other than, some Star Trek stuff. Yeah, this chair is really uncomfortable. So this is not going to be long for them. Yeah. That one's a little lower. Might try that one. Yeah. How did I just do that? Who cares? Continuity be darned. Continuity be damned. All right. Yeah. So yeah. I'm sitting where I was. That's fine. But the camera's slightly up higher. Actually, I could scooch in like I'm snuggling up to him or something. Right here. All right. So. Yeah, this is Kal Kat, and this is the other guy. I'm sort of playing this as the guy, sort of a Carrie or whatever, sitting in Janoli's seat. Janoli's seat. Well, roughly. This is not a rebuilt set or anything like that. That's not what's going on. It'd be funny though. But no. Yeah. So yeah, there really isn't much more to do with this particular sketch. Hey now. Yeah, the other various characters. I'm just gonna switch it back over there because this is not working out. This is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster. It's still New Year's. Yeah. Pre-New Year's. Okay. It's 10 now. Over here on the West Coast. Yeah, I was pretty much done. I mean, I could just, journalism and stuff. That's kind of weird. But yeah, I just went into this room instead because it's easier. Yeah, I don't need a tour of the rooms. So we have yeah, so it's still live. We just turned it off and turned it back on. So there's really not much left to pull off this year. We've done did declare awards ahead of time. We gave I think Best Picture was Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Best Horror Movie was Violent Night, and Best Fantasy Adventure Film thing was also Everything Everywhere All at Once. And the Marvel movies didn't quite make it this year. They almost did. Yeah. Of course, I'm not like those other critics that don't like something for the sake of like, there's some of those critics out there are right wingers and they hate the word woke and they hate like representation, and I'm not one of those people. They can have representation, that's fine. Who knows what hobbits look like or whatever. I have not seen the new look, so I can do Q&A. I can do Q&A if I want. I haven't written down any questions, but I'm sure that those questions popped up over the years during over the summer. We went to Fanime and we went on to, I can answer questions. I'll do that. That's always fun. So we have Phantom and we have Silicon Valley Comic Con. We're in the Silicon Valley Comic Con shirt. Yes, it turns out that actually Mark's Cards spotted Adam Savage before I did, and that he had done his costume from a TV show that was so well that I did not notice him. Yeah, so not this time. So he did his own work. But yes, so yeah, there was a yeah. So humor. I was talking earlier over there about that humor lackluster. The kind of humor right wingers do is not humor. It's everyone else is the brunt of my joke. That is not humor. That is bullying. That's not funny. Oh no, he's woke. Oh, yeah. It's like yeah. Yeah. If you're making a joke that belittles and affronts other people for being different than you, that's not funny. Self-effacing can be funny. Chevy Chase was a master of that. Robin Williams was a master of that. The late Robin Williams. Now George Carlin, he did both, but the way he did it is that he was sort of an anarchist. He was sort of a Bufkin type anarchist. And his humor was based on everybody sucks, including himself. So that's fine, because if you just come out of your character and you say snarkily, well, nobody knows what they're talking about, and I certainly don't either, then you're not above them, you're with them. You're saying, I'm part of the joke. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, so that's what's going on. So that's how you do humor. Chevy Chase falling on his butt and stuff. Very similar to the buffoon dad. It's been a thing since the 50s, basically. And it was an archetype back then in the 50s. Now that we no longer have a film buff extraordinaire like Lindsay Ellis going on about, she quit YouTube, going on about last year, going on about like the details of movies. That kid is extremely brilliant. She's got like, she went to film school and actually learned all these different trivia things. She was the nostalgia chick originally from the Channel Awesome. She went on to become the critical buff of all movies. Then you have Quinn's Ideas, who does all the Dune books. You have other, you have the black critic guy, who, the black critic. It's the black critic. There was another guy that's called the Black Critic. He actually had a cameo with Kal Kat. We were twice. He was at the Kevin Smith reboot thing, and he was at the Cats. They did Cats. He was at that too. So he's a local. But yeah, he's a local. Yeah, so that's cool. Cats was a very bad movie a couple of years ago. But it was funny bad. It was like, oh my god, this is a train wreck. It's amazing. But yeah. Sort of like The Twisted Pair, the Neil Breen movie. He's done a sequel now. And finally, on Red Letter Media, they finally destroyed all their copies of Nuki and a wood chipper, leaving one behind that was a graded C9. Yes. Collectible things is funny. I do collectible things too. Not like that. Yeah, most of my modern collection is worth about what the toy was when I bought it. So that's why they get opened a lot. Because they're yeah, it's like, okay, $20 Transformer, it's worth $20. The only screw up this year was the G1 looking Cyclonus, or yeah, the arms were loose on the Cyclonus. So. But the older one was fine. Yeah, so. Yeah, and New York Times author Lindsay Ellis. One of these days I'm going to have to read this sequel here. And She paid the New York Times off. No, she didn't. She actually deserves it. Yeah, she wrote a sequel to this. This series is the Ampersand series, and yeah, Axiom's End, and Truth of Divine. It should be the Truth of Divine, the filthiest person alive. But no, this is not a review of this book. The Nimbra series. It's essentially a Transformers fanfic. So, like how they made the lady took the Twilight books and made them into 50 Shades. She sort of took the Transformers and made it into this fanfic into an actual sellable book, which we did with Starcrackers, making it Space Vanguards and Distant Destiny, being Canary Space. So we did something similar. So yeah, I had to read it. So I haven't read this all the way. And it's a coincidence that she resembles a Joan Swan student from decades ago called Sandy Gator. Anyway, so I haven't seen her in many, many years, but does resemble her. Yes, there's another one called, there's another one that does reviews of, there's another one, Soft Lavender, and one other one doing reviews of, I can't remember the name, another ex-Channel Awesome person who does costume stuff. Anyway, so yeah, I was going to do a Q&A, that's right. All right, so, yeah, I don't know these people. I'll just shout out to them, whatever. Yeah. Red Letter Media does know about us, and we about them. So, but yeah, we do know about each other. So just keep referencing stuff. But yeah, because they've seen the Chimera thing. They've seen Strange Worlds with Rich as lore, Rich as Mike Sklowska as lore, and Rich as Neelix. With this. But yes, and Jay will be a Tribble called Peppermint. Tribble and Dorian crossbreed thing. But he'll also be Thad Riker. So he's been there the whole time. Who's Thad Riker? So it's not really Thad Riker, because Thad Riker's dead. It's a Cillian version. Jay Bounham will be a Jay something else. Because we can't use their real last names, obviously. He will be Jay Birdman, I believe. Birdman. So yes, Q&A. Let's see. Are you a furry or furry friendly? Oh my. Furry friendly. I'm not technically a furry. Mark's Cards could be a furry if he had a fursuit, but he's furry friendly too. He's furry friendly. But yes, I'm very furry right now. This is very furry. It's very fuzzy. Ew. Oh my. Ew. Are you LGBT friendly? Well, of course. Q friendly. Oh my. But LGBTQ, not QAnon. QAnon. These guys are stupid. LGBT friendly. Yeah, so the Q being from Star Trek. That Q. Oh my. But no, totally. That's the one insult from back in the day, from the school days, that didn't do anything to me because I thought it was obvious. Like somebody said, we were totally queer, gay. Oh, I'd be like, so. It didn't bother me. So. They hated that. They were just like, oh, yeah, he's not affected by that. Damn. You're talking to the guy that when he was like 13, in the playground in the park, was She-Ra, Princess of Power. There was another She-Ra too. There was a She-Ra who I encountered later, Mark's Cards knew, as Mark Card's little sister knew, named Danny She-Ra, who became kind of messed up. But at the time, he was Danny She-Ra, so he was the next generation She-Ra. But I was Hera, Princess of Power. Nobody said anything. No, there were other weird things going on as well back then. But when I was fancy free, I was the Princess of Power. No, I'm bi. Oh my, so both ways. But no, not practicing. Just bi. I just help people. There's a weird sort of version in the cell. Insult because he can't get any. Oh, no, that never bothered me. You know, as I like, you know, the kids are out there these days that are flustered by if they have like super uber like religious parents or something. They're like, no, our son's not weird. No, it's like yeah, no. The kids should just own it. And when and they complain about it on the website, block them. That's what I tell I keep telling them on the online stuff. It's like, if somebody harangues you on your channel, for instance, block them. On your YouTube channel, you got every right to block them. You don't have to put up with that shit. Jessie Gender keeps getting, as a transsexual, she keeps getting into trouble all the time. I keep saying, just block them. They're not worth it. You don't need all the hassle. What are they going to do? Block your channel or your video? They actually got a video flagged by this right-winger guy. I won't say the right-winger guy's name because he's it's not important. The right-winger's not important. No. So, that'll make it feel better. But no. Yeah. The guy that wrote What is a Woman? He's an idiot. Like, this right-wing guy. It's like, what? Yeah. Yeah, they seem to be really butthurt about gender studies. One of Mark's Cards' relatives happens to be gender fluid. So, I am not. But, oh my. No. I'm old man. No. But yeah, it's like the ones that are complaining the most, you wonder how closeted they are. Exactly. It was like, what they complain the most, you're probably like, you know what? You're more obsessed with gay people than gay people are. Something wrong. It's always funny when like they catch like a guy that went to the Pray Away the Gay camp and ends up like becoming gay, or a preacher or something gets caught. He's he's totally like trying to be super uber straight. They catch him. He's been naughty. He's been doing stuff he shouldn't, or something like that, or a pundit. Well, pundits are always getting caught. Politicians are always getting caught. So, as long as you don't do anything wrong. You shouldn't do anything wrong. Autistic. Oh, no. But yeah, it's like Mark's Cards and I were joking about that earlier. Neither of us could be spies. We couldn't be spies because, well, for one thing, I would tell everyone that it was that it was the case, and they wouldn't believe me. And Mark's Cards said, yeah, with ADD, he would forget that he was a spy, and then and forget what his code name was. So there's no spies in that group. That was a question Q&A. One of the Q&A things that they've or if I ever dated a tranny. Somebody was wondering if I dated a tranny. Well, someone commented that as a transsexual. I don't think so. Now I encountered in the college days some very bizarre ladies, some of which were crazy, some of which were not, and a couple of them would have been pronounced lesbians. And even in the church group, there was a lesbian years ago. But I didn't date them because they were lesbian, so they wouldn't be interested. Oh my. They wouldn't be interested. See, that's what these right-winger guys fail to realize is that, like, they're not going to be interested in you because they like girls. But yeah. Oh my. One of them lesbian characters back in the day, she was built like a football player. So I don't think anybody would have messed with her. Anyway, nobody would have gay bashed that girl. She would have kicked their ass. She would have been like, oh, oh, girl. Voice was lower than mine. Damn. She might have been transsexual. Oh my. Encountered another one like that too. I have met transsexual people. Oh my. I remember when they were making a big deal about the bathroom sneakers or whatever. That's a thing. Back in the day, like 2016 or 2017 or so. And there was we were at the comic costume convention, anime. I think I mentioned that. And this nervous guy in a dress comes in the bathroom to take a leak, and he was looking around nervously. It was like, I guess my outfit was a Star Trek outfit, and and I was like, I don't care if you come in the bathroom in a dress. I don't know you. I don't mind. Just do your thing and whatever. So, oh, thank goodness. Actually, breathe a sigh. Do I look like a right winger? I'm not. Oh my, nice costume. I think he felt much better. But yes. Oh my. This other time, there was a man dressed as Dr. Robotnik's, but he had a nice ass. A rather supple, bulbous ass. It was a chick Robotnik's man. Tranny. Oh my. He turned around and he said, "You do realize that I'm a man, don't you?" And I said, "Yes." Oh my. And I walked away. We both giggled about it because we thought it was funny. Checking out my ass. Maybe later on, he checked out my ass. Nothing happened. That would have been a little weird. But oh my. One time, San Jose State, during that journalism thing I mentioned earlier, journalism class, between 2006 and 2008, and there was the Lido nightclub. That's the local San Jose, downtown San Jose near Santa Clara Street gay bar. It's a gay bar. and one time it was like 3 in the afternoon, and there was some pensioned young usher guy out there, I guess, captain, like bell captain, door captain, I guess it was. And he looked over and he thought I looked like I would be a customer at the gay bar. It was like, and I said, of course not. No, I didn't go in there. What I said to him was, it's only 3 in the afternoon. If I was going to go bar hopping, it'd be later. And he laughed. That was the end of that. That's all I had. I was going to be later. It's too early to go bar hopping. It's only 3. I said, I'm not that Irish. Only 1/4 Irish. Oh. Crikey now, matey. I didn't think I'm going to go in there at the gay bar. I have been in the Cinnabar, though, which is kind of a both ways bar in there. Been in there. Had a beer once. I was about 30 or so, 33 or 4. And the guy carded me in there. I said, oh, thank you, young man, for carding me the beer, to get a beer with the Cinnabar. And, and I said, I bet you're only like 22. Oh, yeah. We gotta card everybody. I did look rather young. Oh my. I shaved off the beard and I look 10 years younger. Oh my. Mr. Shrew. I started growing at the end of the convention, but in anticipation of making a Starcrackers thing. We didn't end up making the Starcrackers thing, so the beard just grew all scraggly and kept going and stuff. And there was other things that happened, so I made the commercial Kickstarter. I don't know if that's gonna work. But anyway, yeah, this is our New Year's thing. Well, there's a Q&A, yeah. Rambly Q&A. So I mentioned the other projects. I mentioned the other things. I assume that next summer we will be again returning to the conventions. Probably not the March Star Trek Las Vegas. Probably not that. Probably not doing that. Unless something comes up that allows us to go to that. Possibly the conventions later on, the Fan and we'll go back to that. And Silicon Valley Comic Con used to be Comic Con, now it's Adam Savage's con. Yeah, it's a good thing we saw Christopher Lloyd because that guy's really long in the tooth. But yeah. Oh yeah, this year Kevin Conroy died, the guy who played Batman, and also Barbara Walters, the famous journalist. Yeah, Kevin Conroy was actually closeted. It was a good character. There was an excellent YouTube video, documentary on it. But yeah, I made up a character called Conroy in the 90s in Fictional Adventures. Ended up in Andover series, the spaceship one, the Starfire. I was not thinking of him though. You might think, okay, we're rethinking you, Kevin Conroy, to play the Batman in Batman the Animated Series at the same time when you wrote that. I was not. It's a coincidence. Like some have asked, well, why is that one character, Jane Foster, got changed to Jane Piedmont and Ariana Piedmont and whatever, Ariana Foster. Well, in that case, I didn't know either, because in that case, I didn't know the Thor comics. Not until the movies came out. Then it was like, oh, yeah, she can't be called Jane Foster then. I didn't know that was her. Now, oddly enough, I wouldn't have made the mistake about Mary Jane Watson. I wouldn't have made that mistake. Spider-Man's girlfriend. I wouldn't have, because Spider-Man was, well, not just movies earlier, but there was a TV show and a bunch of other stuff. Cartoon. So I knew that she was Mary Jane. I can't name somebody Mary Jane. Name her Marijuana. She'd be a stoner. But yeah, it's obviously what Stan Lee was thinking. Yeah, because I saw a spider on the wall. Maybe it's radioactive. Stan Lee, the great Stan Lee. The great Stan Lee. Anyway. It's great. Stan Lee. So in 2006, Amanda Bynes and Channing Tatum and some others were plugging She's the Man. And I got to, as part of the, it was early San Jose State, so as part of the I think it was the Wolfpack radio station thing, we were supposed to do like a night thing for somebody and then write about it. And for the Spartan Daily, I don't think I actually ended up writing about it, but it was interesting anyway. Ended up putting it in the blogs in the Kal Kat show later, and forgetting the year. The early Kal Kat show discussed it. I met Amanda Bynes and Channing Tatum and a bunch of other people. And Channing Tatum was bi, and he's totally into it. He wasn't interested in her. The other lady, I forget who the other lady was. But yeah, it happened to also be that there were some youths from the church that were Sarah's age there. Some high schoolers. Junior hires at the time. Yeah, 2 junior hires. They were there, and they almost didn't get into the movie, but because I had a little clout, I said, uh-oh, those 2 are with me. Bring them in here. They got to go in the movie. Oh no, I lost part party over there. Oh, so they let them in. But yes, they were further back in the line. So yeah, but afterward, they were my niece's friends, and afterward they were like, and they were in the drama group and all that, and they didn't get autographed pictures of Amanda Bynes, but I had extras. I had the press kit and all that for the movie and all that stuff.
because you could get press kits back then and look them up. And I said, well, I'll just copy all the cast signed my poster over, so I'll just make them copies of it. It won't be the original. I'll have the original, but copies of it. So I brought out, I copied them up and put the copies in the printer and printed them up. Put them in middle envelopes and delivered them to the church to their parents. And the next day, Sunday at church, and said these are for Megan and Danielle and Katie, and that's who they were. Now they're all married. Even Katie's married. Now they're all married, and they one of them has kids. One of them has 2 kids. Megan has 2 kids. No, it was years ago. It was 2006. So Sarah's not married. Sarah is married, but doesn't have kids yet. But the other 2 are okay. She's off in Sarah moved away, so she's in it says dust on it. She moved away to Missouri, April. SAP Productions is not here, but the Brown Productions thing was allowed. So this is something else. So in a roundabout way, I gave these poster things. So it's also interesting that Megan was the coffee shop lady, and actually what was also fun is that Katie was the older one. It was roughly a little younger than Amanda Bynes, but not by much. Looks a little like her, so we would joke about that when she shows up here. Not so much anymore, but she kind of looked like her back then. But yeah, and Megan named her first kid after me, so there you go. So here we have. This is another story. This is from the convention thing where a similar event happened. There was a guy named Nick, and he was in line to see Stan Lee. It happened to be the last time Stan Lee was going to do anything, because he died a couple months later. But there was a convention, and he was there. I got to wave to him, but I didn't get to get his signature either. But I was there in the line. I just didn't get it. But Nick was in line. He's in line. He's in the line of the whole convention. And he's Megan's friend, Nick. And they were adults at this point. So he wasn't a kid. Yeah, he was an adult. He was a young adult at that point. So this is like 2017 or something like that. 17, 18. Maybe 2018. One of those. The year that he died. The year that, I think, 17. Yeah, it was one of the conventions. So we're at the convention, San Jose. And, he didn't get the signature. They closed off the line at the last minute. But there was this nice lady that worked there. And she had gone, apparently, she had connections. And also, she had a signature thing. So she said to him, yeah, I know if you didn't get that and you've been waiting here all day, I will go backstage and I'll get you the signature and come bring it back to you. Oh. So she went out there and she erupted on the next day. That's what I saw that happen. So yeah, cool. And later on, they came out with signature characters from Marvel, commemorative characters, and as soon as this was available online to purchase on Amazon, I purchased it. So this is a signed Stan Lee action figure. Excellent. It's probably not as collectible as it appears, though, but it's still cool. I like it. It's going to stay in the box. I think you can get these on Amazon and they're still not super expensive, but it's still cool because it's like, this fucking signed. It's signed and the shield is signed. Yeah, I'm not opening that. I've got the Back to the Future car and the Ghostbusters car and all that. Oh, and I've got that was last year. Together cereal. LGBT zero. But this is okay. So whenever Jay Muse shows up at a convention, he was Masters of the Universe Stinkor in the Kevin Smith reboot. Bring this to the convention, then go to Jay Muse and say, I want you to sign this, dude. So dude. Okay, dude. So what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Or I'll have to go to the Scum and Villainy Cantina. Go there and have him sign it. But usually he doesn't go to that. To have him sign this shit. Somebody actually liked the He-Man thing. I like most Kevin Smith stuff. Even Clerks 3 wasn't so bad. It was fine. It was fine. Nostalgic. That's another thing about nostalgia. You kind of have to do something that's, you have to do something that fits with nostalgia. It doesn't work on its own. It has to go somewhere. You can't just do that. All right. Let's wrap this up. Well, I decided to run you an old Kal Kat show story because it's kind of fun. Well, we'll see next season, season 15, Kal Kat show. The Kal Kat show was originally only supposed to go until 7 years. So it's just 7 seasons. We had booked 7 seasons. The Next Gen and Deep Space Nine and Voyager did that. And we just kind of kept going, even though the show didn't really have a format. It was a variety show at that point. We just said, oh, it's a variety show. The main Kal Kat show channel here still doesn't have, I think it's just over 300 videos. But over on the other one, it has 1,000. The reviews channel is more famous. Oh, that's Weird Kitty over there, more than that's Kal Kat, the Kal Katster over there. And it was trippy. Mark Scarz got to see that. Also, Mark Scarz accidentally left his shiny mug thing from the Silicon Valley Comic Con, but he had a major migraine, so he didn't want to go to day 2. But we happened to see David Gerald at day 1, and at day 2 I happened to see him there. Day 1 we also met up with the Bacon costume princess lady, the invisible what was that lady's name? Well, there was the Star Trek lady, but that was somebody else. There was there were 2 Star Trek ladies, but this time it was Kaylee Finkles, I think is her name. The Harry Potter parody writer, also creative. Clever mockeries of the galaxy and stuff. Inspiration for the Kaylee Finkles character, the Finkles character in the Planet of the Fallen Ones, which was originally a Distant Destiny and a Starcrackers short story that were rejected and then rewritten. So she ends up being in there. Some of the church people end up being there too, and they probably shouldn't have, but they're okay with that, I guess. It's just a little odd. It's weird. Like, yeah, if you write your friends into the story, at least get permission, at least do that. So that's also a little awkward. Yeah, Mary Sue stories tend to have. Anyway, so yeah, if you include yourself too much, then when people critique it, then you get mad because you put yourself in it. But if you don't technically do that, it's more like your baby than it is you see. Yes. Oh my. So, it's been New Year's. Basically, we weren't doing anything funny necessarily, but what is comedy? Comedy should be. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not going to go into politics at all. How about that? 2023.